introduced to them by the slave masters. Now, don't you find that a little strange?
Well, I find that to be quite a lie. I can speak to you if you give me a few minutes on the greatness.
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 minutes.
I'm going to tell you how you know the authenticity of the Most High and His holy book. First of all, He has some infallible, undeniable, indisputable facts to let you and I know that He is real and that He is the intelligent force of this universe. Right here in our Bible that we have in the book of Genesis. I'll go through this quickly. In the first chapter, the first 2 verses, here our Creator lets the world know that in the beginning everything is water. Everything came out of water. And so later, centuries later, the scientists found this to be true. Later on in the book of Genesis, the 2nd chapter, the 7th verse, the Almighty said He formed man of the dust of the earth. And we have found out that the dirt is the only component on this earth that has the 16 ingredients that you and I have in our bodies to sustain life. Another point, the Creator says that He made man out of the dust of the earth and breathed into his body the breath of life and became a living soul. But he didn't have a helpmate. And according to the Bible, thousands of years ago, the Creator performed the first operation on a human being when He caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and He operated on him and woke him up. Now, this was centuries before we ever found anything about anesthesia. Didn't know nothing about it, and the Creator saying He caused a deep sleep to fall upon a man. Also in the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter, the 22nd verse, our Creator tells us that He made the earth round. It said He sitteth upon the circle of the earth. Well, just a couple thousand years ago, men were teaching that the earth was flat. And if you sail so far, you would fall off the earth. But I got records to show you in the Holy Torah that thousands of years ago, and was verified when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found out that Yah said that the earth is round. Furthermore, according to the book of Job, the 26th chapter, the 7th verse, here the Creator says, He hanged the earth upon nothing. Upon nothing, He was hanging this round earth that was evolving upon nothing.
Okay,
And
your 3 minutes. You got about 30 seconds. I'll let you go. You still haven't answered the question, but maybe the Pharaoh.
Then ask the question again.
The question was, why do you think it was strange that the only time Africans were introduced to the Bible is by the slave masters?
Well, that's false. First of all, that's a false lie.
You're saying it's false.
Yes,
okay.
and I'll prove in 1 second.
Okay.
1 minute.
I'll have to come back to you on that. Let me see if the Pharaoh can answer that. He says it's false. Is that a false statement, Pharaoh?
Lincoln, it was true, because what I'm saying is this. If you look at history, as I said, African people wrote the Bible as a novel, as stories. There is no history of African people believing in any Bible as they do today prior to European invasion and introducing this to us. He speak about man. He say, according to what Yahweh say, but I'm going to come back to this Yahweh at the end. Lincoln, scholarly stuff, not only, you see here what I'm showing you, Lincoln? See what I'm showing you? What did that say?
How man evolved.
See, when white scientists, white paleontologists, white physical anthropologists, when they publish stuff, they keep it out of jet and ebony. That way, they know blacks are not going to deal with it. If anyone is a scholar in terms of history, everyone knows about Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop. If a person who calls himself a historian and doesn't know about the works of Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, they're insane. Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop talks about the same thing, about man, about man. What Elesha Israel said about life contained in water, didn't I say that when I was down here Friday?
Yes, you did.
I said all life came out of water. As cells evolving coming onto the land, eventually evolving into an ape.
Well, maybe you two agree on something.
Here's another article, The Genesis of Man in Africa. This is out of another book written by Dr. Robert July. a history of the African people. The whole thing about creating man from the dust of the ground. On the side of Pharaoh,
45 seconds.
on the side of Pharaoh Ramses II temple, it is this etched in stone, this picture here etched in stone. This is a picture of the ancient Egyptian god, Khnum, creating man and woman on the potter's wheel out of clay. In the 4th century, with Emperor Theodosius, and in the 6th century, with Emperor Justinian, they closed the Egyptian temples down, saying they were pagan, while at the same time, they were copying everything they could to put in their Bible.
All right, I got to take a break, and then we'll come back and take more phone calls, and we'll let Elesha Israel give a little brief rebuttal to what the Pharaoh just said, and then we'll take calls and questions from our listeners on the new 12:30 a.m. WDB. Shakur.
You was gonna give me a chance to rebuttal what
Okay,
you were saying.
Shakur, we'll forget. Let's go to Bernadette now. Bernadette, no, you just have to ask the question. No, we don't need a sermon. We don't want a sermon from you. Okay.
Because the Bible dictates itself, because it also says God is a consuming fire.
Now you're giving me a sermon.
No, just let me say what I'm finna say.
Okay.
The bottom line, when Elesha Israel died, his people were going under another leader and wait to get to Jerusalem so they can meet their God.
Okay. You don't have a question. Do you have a
If you
question?
would give me a moment.
But you're giving me a sermon first.
She's wasting a little time
If
with
a man
guys.
won't treat you right,
Oh, let me go. She won't do right. Lonnie, how you doing?
Hey, Brother Lincoln, how you doing?
Pretty good.
You never let me.
Shalom to Brother Israel.
Shalom, brother.
I have one question for the Pharaoh.
Yes.
Pharaoh, can you answer this question to me? How is it that our people is living in such this same position as we're living in? Do you think water had anything to do with that?
No, in terms of the condition we're living in,
Yeah. That's what you're talking about, the condition that black folks are in.
Are we living in the conditions that we're living in today? Did the Creator cause it, or did water cause it?
no, nothing caused it. It is based upon our own doing as well as association, dealing with our oppressor.
Do you think that would come from being disobedient to the Creator?
If you equate being disobedient to nature, yes.
I don't believe in nature.
You don't believe in nature, then what just had your lights out last week?
Nature because if I believed in nature, then I would be out here doing something else other than what the Creator told me not to.
Well, so in other words, wait a minute, Lonnie. So you're saying, wait, Lonnie. Are you there, Lonnie? Lonnie didn't want to answer the question.
I'll just say, if he didn't believe in nature, what is it that had his lights out last week?
Yeah,
That was nature. God equates to nature.
Okay.
Hurricanes, tornadoes,
Right.
all of that is nature.
Brother
That's
Elesha
God
Israel,
being.
you want to
Yes,
elaborate on that?
you were going to give me a chance to rebuttal his statement about the Bible. And he contradicted himself while he was here. First of all, he brought out the fact that black people did believe in the Bible. And then he said we only believed in it once we got here. That's a contradiction.
Well, I can't remember him saying that.
Well,
He always has said that they didn't find out about the
Well,
Bible until they came to America.
Well, that's, you see, first of all, that's to say that the white man introduced us to the Bible.
That's true.
And the truth of the matter is, if the white man, anything the white man write, produce, direct, or promote, he will promote himself. If you go to a movie and see a picture of Tarzan and the Africans, who's going to be the main player?
Tarzan,
If you go and see a cowboy and Indian movie, who's going to be the main player?
the cowboy.
Well, if the white man wrote the Bible, would he not be the main player? But according to the Bible, according to the Bible, God.
Well, who is the main player? Well, let me ask you that.
Let me finish, Lincoln. The main player in the Bible is a black man. All the prophets were black, with woolly hair, with afros and dreadlocks. All of the kings were black. The Garden of Eden is in Africa. All of the prophets were black. And according to the Bible, the only people that were white were people that were cursed and turned white. Now, why would somebody like King James write a Bible that would condemn, and he was a homosexual. The Bible condemns homosexuality. He was a murderer. The Bible condemns murderers. He was a man that believed in adultery. The Bible condemns adultery. And he thought the white race was superior. According to the Bible, if the white man wrote the Bible, you would read about all of this taking place in Europe
Okay.
and not in Africa.
Respond, Pharaoh.
If he want to speak about the white man, first of all, what sounds more practical about man being an evolutionary creature?